Morgan, St. Gaudens, Mercanti. Hey, everybody, I'm Spegtacular, the Silverstacular, and I am here with Salivate Metal. Sal, how's it going?
Doing well, sir. How are you doing?
Great. Hey, is my camera backwards to you?
No, it's actually looking straight on cue. You are completely right side up
Okay.
and right sideways or whatever have you. But
I was going to stand on my head if need be. We're
yeah,
good?
there you go. Yeah, no need. You can stay on your feet. You can keep your feet on the ground or keep your feet on the stars and keep reaching for the ground if you'd like.
Either way, it's an exciting time.
Sure.
Sal, episode 4 of the Metals Experience, man. Thank you for doing this. I greatly appreciate it.
Thank you. This is fun and a huge honor, as always. Very much appreciated. This should be old hat for us, but I'm not wearing a hat right now, so we'll leave that out of it.
I went hatless this time, too. I wanted to really impress you with my hair. What do you think of it? Looks good?
Looks wonderful. Looks absolutely spectacular.
For anybody that doesn't know what the Metals Experience is, maybe this is your first episode, even though it's our fourth actually episode of doing this. It's just two guys talking about coins, precious metals, getting together. Salivate Metal does have a YouTube channel, so definitely check him out. I'll leave links down in the description so you can check him out. But it's just going to be two guys talking about things that we love. Sal, do you love coins and precious metals?
I do. I love them greatly, although I have to tamper that down a bit. Obviously, God, family, friends, much more important. Relationships, much more important. But as far as the hard assets and what they do to preserve their wealth and their beauty, I love them.
Yeah, it's a hobby for sure. For me, I mean, definitely a preservation of wealth too. And yeah, family, everything. God is so important beyond that, of course. Yes, absolutely. Sal, I have a question for you.
Sure.
What do you think about the big dip in the markets?
Well, not normally am I right when I do little prediction videos, either mini prediction videos or year-end prediction videos. And I tend to be wrong on the year-end stuff, but I talked about very recently how silver could fall below $24 an ounce before the end of the year. And it looks like we might be seeing that sooner rather than later. And I think a lot of it has to do with, what the Fed is going to be doing with these bond yields going up. And it's just, it's crazy times. And that's in the face of inflation that's not slowing down. It's heating up. Go figure. It's all about this, folks. That's right. The blasted dollar, fiat currency. It is here and it is here to stay, at least for now. And the strength of this determines the weakness of the prices of this. Now, notice I said prices of this. The actual metals themselves, gold and silver, have stood the test of time, and they will continue to do so. But we're going to see some volatility in the metals prices, and it's going to frustrate a lot of people. And in fact, there's going to be some people watching this interview now saying, man, I'm done with these precious metals. These prices keep going down. They should have skyrocketed by now. But you got to be patient. You got to hold on for the medium haul as well as the long haul. And but yes, indeed. So I think we might still see some more dips, but we're going to see some prices move up as well. What are your thoughts, Speg?
I think it's just one of those things, like you mentioned, it's for the long haul. So when I see the spot price, I almost don't even care about it. I've gotten to that point where it doesn't matter to me what it is, because I'm just going to keep accumulating. People can blame all kinds of things. They can say it's manipulation, it's shortage, it's, whatever's going on overseas. I do it for the long haul. It's interesting to see certain things move the market for sure. But for me, I'm just that guy that's little by little, I'm just going to keep going. Unless, gold and silver become like just unobtainable with the price. As long as I can still buy it, I'm going to try my best to keep doing it.
And that's just it. It is a buying opportunity. In fact, as we record this interview, you may, I don't know if Speg, you personally have seen, but I've seen some of the bullion dealers sending out emails for deals on 10 ounce and kilo silver bars. So some of the prices are some of the premiums, at least, are coming down, at least for those things, fairly recently. But it is a buying opportunity, and you can look at it as such, shop around, find the best price. But like what you have on your screen is some collectible gold and silver coins, which are beautiful. Yeah.
Yeah.
And to me, and even on my screen, most of what you see here is bullion kind of related products, some of it a little bit more premium bullion than others. But I love the beauty of it. I think it's fun to collect the stuff. And I think, if you watch Spectacular's channel, you see that he is a collector. He loves it as well. He's also a smart stacker. And, so you can have the best of both worlds. You can enjoy what you buy. And there's something to be said for that. There's some satisfaction about enjoying what you save, and you can save it with numismatics or with stackable or better, what is known as better bullion or premium bullion, and lots of cool designs on the products that you can buy out there.
Well, I'm glad you noticed that I had more of a numismatic spread on this video today. Did that on purpose because that is part of my strategy. Is when prices start to become, high, and silver, before this dip just recently, the last few days, silver and gold both were coming up to a decent amount, close to $2,000 on gold. I think just 2 days ago, 3 days ago, and
Yes.
it's like this is my go-to now. I typically I'll get numismatic stuff like maybe not like really high grade, or maybe not really rare date coins, but I still go that route because I feel like that's just a better play when the prices start to come really high up, because my goal is to buy in the dip. I think that's most people's goal. When it comes down a little bit, that's when you really want to go ahead and get in there. And I had just seen all these increases. I'm like, well, I'm just gonna go numismatic for a little bit. That's kind of my strategy.
Yeah, exactly. That's right. And there's a strategy. There's a lot of different ways to be able to buy precious metals, and certainly, obviously, you look for the dips in spot price, and you find things that interest you, and but yes, definitely, it's a and there's enough of a variety of different ways to buy that people can have different strategies for sure. But it just depends on what they're looking for. I mean, you have some nice. I love those St. Gaudens uh, double eagles you have there. Those things have fared very well. This one here is an MS, looks like an MS 66. Is that right? Which is a very nice grade.
Yeah.
Typically, the 63s and 64s are fairly common. You can get them for fairly lower premium. But when you get into the 66, look at that luster, that cartwheeling on that eagle there. Beautiful. Then you've got something there. 27 is a fairly common year, but this is just an example of a nice, uncirculated, brilliantly struck, sharp detail on this piece. And this is something that I think as a collector, we want to strive to have something of that quality in a graded form such as that. Amazing. There's an example of a 65, a little different type of luster on that one, but both PCGS slabbed $20 St. Gaudens. Beautiful. Considered one of the most beautiful coins in numismatics in the entire world. Love the St. Gaudens double eagle. Beautiful.
One of my favorite. I tend to, when it comes to pre-33 gold, I gravitate towards the St. Gaudens design versus the Liberty Head design, which, don't get me wrong, still a nice design overall, especially the reverse on. I really do love the reverse on the Liberty Head design, but that St. Gaudens is a stunning coin.
Totally agree with you on that. I gravitate much more towards the St. Gaudens design. Teddy Roosevelt got that right when he commissioned for the change of those designs, and even the $10 is beautiful. Those are here a little bit more of a premium, actually. The $10 actually the Lady Liberty with headdresses. That's not an Indian on that. Some people don't know that, but that $10 gold eagle is beautiful as well. I only have two of those, but they're nice coins.
I only have one. Luckily, I was able to get it at a good price. But now it's become to that point where you're like, man, do I really want to spend that much money on one of those?
Right.
I mean, I do, but I don't.
Yes, I know what you mean. That's kind of how I feel about the dollar, the gold dollar coins. They're kind of nice, but I don't know that I want to spend, $300 for about a 20th of an ounce of gold. Plus,
Um,
plus.
plus, exactly. Oddly enough, we were talking a little bit about spot prices. So that big dip in price has come, now we're seeing this. So here it is, as of the making of this video, just so everybody knows, it is Saturday. So the markets are closed, they're frozen. I thought it was interesting. I went to a coin show today, Sal, and dealers were kind of really hiding their bullion. I felt like a lot of times I go to these shows locally, they have like, some big 100-ounce bars, some bricks of silver. Nobody had those today. A few 10 ounces and a few 1 ounces, and that was it. I mean, I think that they're trying to wait and see a little bit.
Yeah, it very well could be. They have to, some of these smaller dealers have got to be careful with how they source and how they hold and carry and sell their bullion. They're holding it back thinking, well, this stuff is going to go higher again. But what if it doesn't? Then they're left holding the bag, so to speak. It's a risk. Unless you're a bigger bullion dealer, the bigger bullion dealers actually hedge. They have hedging contracts. They kind of protect themselves for the volatility and the fluctuation in the markets. But some of the smaller guys, I know my LCS, one of my LCSs, they pretty much, when they place an order, they pretty much know they're going to sell it all. But a lot of it is tough to come by too. They have a hard time sourcing it. And people say, well, there's a shortage of silver. It's not necessarily that there's a shortage of silver. There's just a shortage of the product that is moving through. We still have some supply chain issues that we're working through, and getting the product manufactured in time, getting it delivered to the bullion dealers in time has been a challenge. And then once those deliveries do come, it's a pretty large amount. And then the bullion dealers have this, they've got these bars for sale. We've got, 900 10-ounce bars or what have you, or 5,000 1-ounce bars. There's no silver shortage. Well, for that period of time that they have it in hand, no, there's not. But how long did it take them to get those silver bars in order to move them? And the smaller dealers have to buy from sometimes the same people we buy from. So it's tough, and it's tough for them. I would not want to be a local coin shop owner in this environment, or really in any environment. It's amazing how they do it. But
you really, I think for a shop, if you're not building a database of people like a go-tos, that have product that you can constantly, source from, you're going to have a big time problem. If you're just relying on people coming through your door and you're trying to be a bullion dealer that way, it's probably going to be very difficult for you right now. You got to have places you can call, places that will deliver. You got to have some places that have your back in this environment.
True that.
Hey, so oddly enough, we were talking a little bit about shortages and having problems getting things. I just got these in the Aquaman, and say what you want, say you do or don't like this next in the series. I think it's okay. It took me a month for AppNext to send this to me. And
wow, here I am. I'm here trying to zoom in on it. I'm trying to pinch zoom to see closer. There we go. Thank you. Wow, that is nice. Yeah, I have seen images of that, but that's the first one I've seen in hand. Yeah, that's cool. And so this is part of the series. I know there's several superhero series out there, right?
Yeah, this first in the series was Batman. Then you had Wonder Woman, Superman, and now Aquaman.
Nice.
That's,
wow.
So far where we are.
Yep, indeed.
All right, so listen, Sal, rapid fire questions, okay? I got a few for you. Just whatever comes to your mind first, you got to answer it.
Pickles. Oh, wait, you haven't started asking yet. Sorry.
I know what you're having for lunch now. Okay, here we go. As you think of it now, U.S. Mint or Perth Mint?
Perth Mint.
Gold or silver?
Gold.
Mercanti or St. Gaudens?
St. Gaudens.
Modern Commem or Classic Commem?
Classic Commem. I pause on that one. I'll explain that later.
45th or 46th?
45th.
90% silver or 999 silver?
999.
Okay, interesting choices there.
Yeah.
Why did you on the Commem?
You may not know this, Speg. Maybe you do, but I have a video, and it's one that I was hoping would go at least bacterial. It didn't. I can never ask for one of my videos to go viral, but if I could get bacterial, I'd be happy. But it is the complete proof U.S. modern commemorative collection. That is the backbone of my collecting. It's a video that I put out that shows every single proof modern commemorative coin issued by the U.S. Mint from 1982 to 2015, because that's when I did the video in 2015. And breaking news on this very interview, I'm going to be doing an update video to that this year, and it's going to be a lot of work. It's going to be a lot of work. I'm going to have the special announcement that I'm going to be going to that video. It's more of a personal thing, but that is the backbone of my collecting is in modern commemoratives. And the reason why I paused on that is because the classic commemoratives have some very cool designs, but I didn't like how they were kind of piecemealed out with some of these pieces were done multiple years and some just 1 year, and some actually had some fairly crappy designs, believe it or not, which classic $50 commemorative, or actually there was more than just $50. There was a $2.50 gold piece in 1926. There was the Pacific Pan American. I guess you consider those as part of the Lafayette dollar as well. And so others that would be probably considered classic commemorative coins.
You even had the Bella quarter.
Yes, that's right. Yep. And so it's more than just $50, but and of course, obviously very expensive if you want to get an example of every single one of those. But believe it or not, there was some designs that were not all that great during that series, just as obviously is the case with the modern commemoratives. The modern commemoratives were based off of an act of Congress. And so you're at the whim of what Congress does based off their constituents and organizations that they represent. Some of them were just absolutely butt ugly. I mean, hairy but ugly. Like the 1995 Special Olympics is probably one of the ugliest coins I've ever seen. And it went against the law that prohibits a living person from being represented on a coin. Yea, though Maria Shriver looked dead on the coin, but nonetheless, it is what it is. But so I probably would have to go with the modern because that's what I'm collecting. And there were some very nice designs in the modern series too. But I can think of a handful of really good ones that I really enjoy. So yes, indeed. But good question, Speg. I did not come up with a list of questions, but at the risk of being completely unprepared and cheap, I'm very curious to what your answers to those questions would be.
Well, oddly enough, I decided just to write those down while we were talking earlier.
Cool.
Let's see.
Right.
U.S. Mint or Perth Mint? I would go Perth Mint. Gold or silver? Let's go gold. Mercanti St. Gaudens. St. Gaudens for sure. I'm going to go classic commem, though. I'm going to change it up from you. Also a 45th. And I'm going to go 90% silver.
Okay. So we're very close on a lot of those. That's cool. All right.
Yep. I mean, I came into the game, loving 90% silver. I still have a love for it. I think it's a little bit to where it's gotten to the prices not as, great as it used to be for that stuff. 999 silver is probably actually the better buy right now. For some reason, 90% has gotten kooky on the price.
Right. Yep.
I still love it.
It's funny you say that because one of the LCSs I go to, their prices are still very reasonable on 90%. And I probably should be buying more considering that it was so reasonable. They've been selling it to me at 20 times face.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Whatever you do, don't tell people where that is because then it's going to go way up.
Right.
So yeah, it was just my little list right there.
That's cool. Great.
What do you think about the U.S. Mint not doing the Peace Dollar and Morgan dollars this year after all?
I think it's poor planning. I think they probably took a chance when they listed them on their product page. They probably should not have done that. The actual legislation gives them the option to continue doing that series. There's a 21, nice, original 21, beautiful, high relief. And, there's really, for a collector, for the commemorative, see, those were meant to be kind of 100th anniversary of the transition from the Morgan to the Peace dollars. so they kind of in and of themselves represent, a commemoration of that 100-year mark, the 1921 piece and the 1921 Morgan. So to do a 1922 or a 2022, which would be 101 years, it then becomes just a regular issue the United States Mint does. And now they're going to do them in 2023. So now they're not really honoring anything. And so it's going to really throw it off, because you can do them every year and you can be skipping a year. Then that's poor planning on the U.S. Mint's part. And my guess is probably there's going to be a number of collectors out there that just won't care about that. They'll buy them anyway. But I don't know. I think it's poor planning. Obviously, it's a planchet shortage, and those are special planchets that they have to mint. They have to provide enough to cover the commemorative dollars, which are the same size. But that's a beautiful Morgan there. So you got to have enough to be able to provide for that. But they just didn't plan them very well, in my view. What are your thoughts on it?
Well, definitely didn't plan for that, did they? That's for sure, without a doubt. I actually am rooting for them just to go, hey, changed our mind. We're no longer doing the Morgans and Peace dollars from here on out. It was that 1 year. Now we're done. That's what I'm hoping for. Not to say that it, doesn't help promote the hobby. It doesn't help get people interested, but it was neat. It brought some excitement, and now I kind of want it to be over, and then them go on to something new. That's me,
Yep, I tend to agree with you on that. It's I don't know. It's the U.S. Mint it's a strange creature compared to other mints around the world, like the Royal Canadian Mint. Just their maple leaf issues alone far outnumber anything that the United States Mint comes out every year. But that's because the U.S. Mint is constrained largely by congressional authority to mint coins. So they can do some metals, and they can do whatever leeway they have with their silver coins. But nonetheless, they're kind of limited. Of course, there's a lot of demand for U.S. Mint products. And so they really don't need to do anything else. They don't need to continue doing these Morgan and Peace dollars. But they, I don't know. And with the supply chains the way they are, if they decide not to do it, they're not going to do it this year. And they may have a hard time doing it next year. And so if they skip 2 years doing these, then likely it's less likely they'll continue in 2024. But the United States Mint has been known to come back to a series of coins that have been minted before and stop for a couple of years and then come back to it. Case in point for that would be the Palladium Eagle bullion coin.
You have one of those, don't you?
Yes. Got the inaugural issue from 2017 bullion version.
Yeah. That's a nice coin. The reverse is really the spectacular part of that coin, I think.
It is. I love it. Yep, I agree.
Sal, here's one more question for you. Motto or no motto?
I kind of like the motto. I just think it offsets. It's without the motto there, it's a little bit, it's not quite, doesn't quite have the, it seems like the eagle's too far out of the sun. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And it gives a little bit of symmetry from the top to the bottom. There's text on the bottom and the top. What about you? What are your thoughts?
I gotta have the motto. Not to say that I won't buy one that has no motto, but
right.
I'm definitely preferencing the motto.
Yep, for me. All right.
Hey, so I went to a coin show today, like I said earlier, and I seen some coins that I've never had in my hand, Sal. I've never held onto a Proof Walking Liberty. I've never held onto a MS-68 Morgan dollar. And I seen these at this show today. And I talked to the dealers, they're two different dealers, and I said, hey, listen, I'm not going to buy that coin. I really would just like to look at it if you wouldn't mind. And they were actually, like, yeah, sure, no problem. Put it in my hand. I'm looking at it. You ever do that? You ever just want to have a coin in your hand that is beautiful, you've never seen in that condition before, or that type? You ever do that?
Oh, yes. In fact, I had a friend of mine who I don't really see as much these days, but earlier in the channel, I used to do a lot of numismatic videos showcasing pieces just like that. Like I have there's a video that I did in an 1879 proof Morgan dollar. Those are older videos, and others that are just very unique pieces, as well as currency as well. He loves currency, but yes, love to be able to see that stuff. Proof sets, 1942, Walking Liberty, $50 proof is amazing. Yes, indeed. And it's something. It really is amazing to see that stuff that likely you'll never see again. You saw it at that coin show, and maybe that's the only time you'll see it.
Yeah, there's another big coin show, and a nice piece of territorial gold. I told the person, I was like, man, listen, I don't have 30 grand for that piece, but I would love if I could just see that. And they were like, oh yeah, absolutely. I'm sure they're like, really keeping their eye on me and stuff. No sleight of hand.
Oh yeah.
It was just, it's so like neat to see a coin like that in your hand.
So let me ask you this then. If you could have any coin that's just out of the realm of obtainability, like that type of thing, what would it be? If you could pick one of those type of coins, which would it be, other than something like crazy like the 1933 gold double eagle, or the a 1913 nickel, other than those ultra rarities, those the kind that you just talked about, is there one, if you could pick one single piece, what would it be?
I think it hits my mind a lot. I think about it sometimes before I go to bed. Even it's kind of weird to say. Probably like that. It's like the octagonal Pan Pacific.
Yeah,
Piece.
that would be nice to have one of those.
I've seen them. I've never had the ability to hold one in my hand. I've seen them for, at the time it was like about $60,000. For like a lower graded one.
Right.
But still, I mean, if I could get one of those, that would be like a dream coin. I think it's just in the realm though of being unobtainable for me. What about you?
Well, like, for you, like the Browning automatic rifle, I mean, that's a gun that I kind of only dreamed to have, and you were able to get one of those. So who knows? Maybe you might be able to work your way into getting a lower grade example of that at the least. For me, it probably would be a high relief, not the ultra high relief because that's unobtainium, but a high relief 1907 St. Gaudens double eagle.
Wire rim?
Yeah, I thought about wire rim or not wire rim. Whatever one is probably the most rare.
Yeah, I really like the wire rim 1907. In love with it. That's a close second for sure. Yeah, good choice, man. Good choice.
Yeah.
Hey, if you ever come to Florida, I'm totally willing to let you shoot that gun.
Oh, that'd be great, man. That'd be awesome. Wow. I bet the rounds are pretty expensive for it, aren't they?
No, you'd be surprised. The ones you have to shoot at the range, because it's an indoor range that I ended up going to, they're about $9 each.
Okay.
But you can buy one of these rounds for $4.
Man, nice. Wow.
It's a lot for a round for sure, but it's not as bad as you would have thought.
Right. That's a massive bullet, man. That can definitely do some damage.
Well, this is not going to do any damage because this is just a pen, but this represents
all right.
exactly how big they are.
The pen is mightier than the bullet, they say, right?
Hey, it can be, can't it?
Can be. That's right.
I think we see that in government all the time.
That's right. True that. Yes, indeed.
Anything new going on in your channel on YouTube?
No, I'm just kind of trying to just continue to put out some material, and it is kind of ironic. I have probably had my worst performing video in probably the history of my channel, for the size of my channel that it is now. Posted last week, and it only got like 500 views, and that was like a horrible performing video compared to what I usually do. So, but yeah, no, just kind of just kind of going through a lot of news. There's never a shortage of topics out there that I can find and talk about, but I'm trying to think of some way to do something a little bit different. I'm trying to grow the channel, but I don't want to be completely self-promoting about it either. But I just got to think of something to do a little bit different that's not going to require a whole lot more energy that I have right now. But you know, I guess I always have scammers that we can talk to that help. You know, that tends to be a thing that's different. Hello.
Hello, sir. Would you like to buy a timeshare in a little area over here?
Yes, indeed. They hung up, the sons of biscuits. But yeah, no. How about for you? Anything new and exciting on your channel?
Um, I get people like shops that say like, "Hey, we should do something sometime," and people that are unique, I guess, in the hobby. There was an offer today. A guy at the coin show that I went to. He has a daughter, and the daughter apparently has done grading for NGC. Been in the coin business all her life because her dad was a coin dealer, and so knew about coins and grew up with it. And then now has her very own shop of her own, and she's only
No.
28 years old. I thought that was kind of fascinating and something different. You know what I mean? Not that I haven't gone to a coin shop and interviewed somebody, but to see a female getting into it and being as successful as apparently she's been would be fun. Would be fun to talk to somebody like that. But I enjoy the coin shop interviews. That's like my favorite things to do. I think that those kind of videos for other channels too that have been doing them. I mean, it gives people valuable information that you wouldn't
Right.
be able to get from just the guy on YouTube. So when we can get into those shops, it definitely helps.
And those are pretty successful videos. I know you kind of given me your blessing to kind of pursue that as well. And I came very close to interviewing a local coin shop out of Louisiana. The guy said, "Hey, it would be we'd love to do it. We'd love to do that," and sent emails. Never heard back from him. So I guess it wasn't meant to be for my channel. But there's enough other channels that are doing that provide good information that you probably don't need another guy, added to the fray there. But I think it's about you're the one that spearheaded that. You're the one that started it, and it's amazing. And those videos are quite successful. And I'm just need to find something a little bit new and different to kind of try to attract new viewers. But more importantly than that, to try to just bring value to the community. I just got to think about what it is. I mean, I try to bring news, information, and showcasings, and talk about metals of all sorts, not just gold and silver, but also platinum as well too. Platinum is a metal that I think is not talked about, I think, enough in the community. It's a little bit more of a fringe precious metal. I refer to it as one of like palladium and rhodium as well too. But I think there's some value there. And so yeah, just you keep a good thing going, or keep a thing going that people enjoy, and I want to do that, but I also want to try to do something else. I just have to think about what that's going to be.
And I think that you will think it eventually because you are a thinker.
Yeah, well, thank you, sir. Appreciate it. Yes, indeed.
Do you
But
do
yeah,
this thing?
you've done a wonderful job. Your channel, it's amazing to see how it's grown. Totally well deserved, and you just provide a great. People love your personality and love the coin shop interviews, but also just your regular content as well too. That does well too. So it's pretty amazing stuff.
Do you do this thing that I do where I can just be sitting on a chair watching the TV, really involved in the show that I'm watching, but then something pops into my head, some idea, and I don't want to show off, the actual idea. I know you won't steal a cell, but somebody out there, you know what I mean, might. But I put all these little sticky notes and all these pieces of paper with my ideas at my desk because I think about them. I got to write that down, and I go get a piece of paper and I write it down, and then I put it on my desk, and eventually that's a video. Do you do that?
Oh yes, I definitely do that. In fact, some of those things that I do, I think, okay, this is going to be a great video. This one is going to do really well. Invariably, my luck, the ones that I spend a lot of time on and research, and I find those videos tank. They typically tank. And it's the ones that are just fly by night. Okay, well, let's cover this topic that I don't think many people will necessarily come to. I don't feel the best about that video. Then that video does really well. So but I still do it anyway because there's so much to talk about, and yeah, an idea will pop in, and I've got actually mine. I have it as a notepad document with titles on it that I'm looking to do. So yes, in fact, I've got, let me see here, my document here, I'm actually have my desktop open here. I have got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 right now in one document. And there is, oh my goodness gracious. There's like 20 in this other document that I've not gotten to. Some of these I may have gotten to in the past, but yes, indeed. I have a playlist of videos called legacy videos. And those are videos that I like to think of that are timeless, that aren't necessarily based off the precious metal prices day to day or a news event or a certain, but it's something that that would hope that people would go to, that they can watch at any time and it'd be relevant in that time, whatever time it is in.
Brilliant.
Yeah, so that's kind of the playlist that I'm trying to build out now with some of the content that I've got.
Very cool. So, anybody that may be watching right now, you can see kind of the struggles of a YouTuber in the precious metals and coin community, trying to always think and trying to be innovative and try to find things that interest the community and help the community. That's what we go through, and sometimes the struggle can be real.
Indeed it can. And, I mean, it's a little bit of work putting together a video, even if it's just covering the news of the day or what have you, it's there's a lot that goes into it. So, and to those who maybe don't have a channel, you may not appreciate, the efforts and time it takes to do a video. So Spegtacular and I very much appreciate, though, everyone who takes the time to watch and engage on the videos, because that's what keeps us going. It's your views, it's your engagement. And I know we say it, but we say it because we want to get the message of precious metals out there, and that is to rate a video, and that is to engage by pressing the thumbs up button or thumbs down button if you don't like the content. It helps us to know what you're thinking about, and also to comment. One thing I always tell people, hey, if your comment on a video, it's not just about feeding that algorithm, which is a very real thing in YouTube. And I think we are kind of at the whim of the algorithm to a degree, but it helps us to see where our audience is at on certain things. And I always tell folks, feel free to post whatever whatever your thoughts are, whatever your feelings are on any given topic, whether you agree or disagree. I read them all and appreciate every single one. And you're always free to speak your mind on my channel. That's one thing I pride myself on is that free expression of ideas, where in a community, especially with the way the social media, what is known as big tech these days, it's not always applicable, or they don't always honor free expression of ideas. And I want whatever control I have for my platform to be a free exchange of ideas, no matter what those ideas are.
Well, it's a good thing that you're like that, Sal, because if I found out that you weren't like that you were trying to censor people, that I would send Elon Musk over to buy your channel.
There we go. All right. Well, I tell you what, if he wants to buy my channel anyway, I might, well, actually, no, it's just like, a pocket piece that we may have, which actually, believe it or not, I don't have it on me, or I'd show it to you, but because I just got done doing yard work. This is why I'm wearing my gloves, because my fingers are still a bit dirty from doing yard work. But there's some sentimentality to this channel and your channel as well too. It's a labor of love, and the things and the community that you've built around Spegtacular is something else. You have really done a spectacular job, pun intended and unintended, but an amazing job of building your community and your brand, and your personality shines through, and it's just amazing. And it's the love for coins, precious metals, and your viewers that I think is what, and the interviews that you've done with other folks, and the coin shops and everything. It's just amazing what you've done here.
Yeah, it's fun. I I actually had somebody that was in the position that they could afford it. Let's just say that they offered to buy my channel, and I turned
Wow.
it down. That, to me, it's not about the price and how much, it's worth and stuff. This is fun for me. This got me through a lot of hard times, a lot of different times in my life. I really, really genuinely enjoy talking about coins, precious metals. I'm going to collect it anyway, so why not talk about it and promote it? I had a guy at the show today that knew who I was, and he's like, "Oh, hey, I never got to meet you." And I'm like, "Yeah, man." He goes, "Do you make money on your channel?" And I'm like, "Yeah, there's some money to be made for sure. I mean, it's gotten that way to where it's almost like a second job." And he goes, "But," he's like, you're just like a regular guy. He's like, "You don't have a Lambo or anything like that." I'm like, "No, it's not that. It's not about that kind of money. We're not that kind of channel. It's
That's right.
just, it's a little bit of a benefit, but it's not like, the big time YouTubers and stuff. And even if it wasn't a money maker, because there was a time when it made no money for me whatsoever. I had the history of the channel to prove that. I still would do it because it's fun. It promotes it. I get to talk to other people. It's like being in a forum, where you just get to talk to each other, but it's in video format.
I totally agree. I'm right there with you 100%. I've never been approached for an offer to buy my channel, but I would turn it down too for the exact same reasons. And yes, and if it wasn't a money maker for me, I would definitely still do it as well too. It's fun to talk about precious metals. And for quite a long time, I did not make money on the channel either. And so yeah, it's a labor of love, and that's what I think. We're not unique in that. I think most of the precious metals community that has been here for a long enough time feels the same way. And it's obviously we get into our regular content creation, and because it is a source of income, sometimes we do content. I know for me, I do a lot of content, probably more than most, probably more than I should, but it is a routine, and it's a part of that routine. There's not a shortage of stuff to talk about, it seems. Like I said, we just Spegtacular and I both just showed. Well, I didn't show documentation, but I counted the list of topics that we have to cover that we've not covered, and so there's always an influx of stuff and ideas coming out, and you kind of get into a routine, and you get going with it, and you enjoy it, and you enjoy interacting, so it's fun.
Well, Sal, I do think that you are a great channel. I'm happy to be subscribed to you. I hope that other people that, watch us communicate with each other, that haven't actually found your channel yet, they use, what you're saying right here to go check you out, because you're genuine. What you're saying to me right now is exactly the kind of things that you say on your channel. I mean, it's not like you've changed in any kind of way. It's good information that you provide for the community. It's fun when you do your lives. So people should definitely check out Salivate Metal's channel. I have a link down in the description. Sal, I'm going to have to go on this particular episode. Hopefully we can do this again soon.
Yes, indeed.
Stay on the way out.
No, thank you. And I appreciate that, Spegtacular. And this is an honor to do these with you. And if you're watching this video on Spegtacular's channel and you haven't subscribed to Spegtacular, I definitely encourage you to do that. For the same reasons. He's a real guy. He's genuine in his views, very consistent, and he does a lot of good for the community, and many of his videos for education, for fun, entertainment, and enjoyment. And thank you again, Spegtacular, and a multitude of gratitude to all of you for taking the time to watch this interview and this video and being here.
The Metals Experience episode 4. We did it.
In the wraps. That's right.
Wow. All right. Hit us with something really good on the outro. Super good, Sal. It's all you.
Oh, all right. I want to leave you with this sage piece of advice, and that is to keep reaching for your silver and gold that you have in your possession right now, and hang on to it, and keep reaching for good things in life. Take care, all.
Bye-bye, everybody. Thanks for watching. Make sure you check out the playlist. It's going to have all the episodes, and stay tuned. Hopefully, God willing, and the creeks don't rise, new episodes coming up with Salivate Metal and I.
Indeed.
Okay. Well, I don't know how to end just the recording. Maybe this. Hold on. Oh, no, I found it. Hold on. I'll cut that part out, I think. Let's see. Hold on. Time out.